Okay, so we are working on our test review, okay, test 5.1. Question number 1 says, a ring toss company toy is composed of, a ring toss toy is composed of a rectangular prism on top of a cylinder. The rectangular prism is completely filled with water. The dimensions of the rectangular prism are shown in the diagram. Calculate the total surface area. Okay. So, the first step that I want you guys to do is go ahead and either outline or shade in your base. Okay. So this is my base right here. Okay. All right. There's one base, and then the other base is right over here. Okay? I'm going to shade in these bases. Alright, so I went ahead and did step 1. I shaded in my bases. Alright? Now, step 2 is to redraw the base. Well, I'm working with a rectangular prism, so my base is going to be in the shape of a rectangle. Alright? Now, how am I going to figure out what numbers go on the side lengths of my rectangular base? Well, I look at my shaded in bases, my red, okay, and I look for the two numbers that are touching, okay? 2 centimeters is touching my red shaded in base, and so is 9. So those are going to be my values that I'm going to use as my side lengths, okay? So 2, 2, 9, and 9. Okay, so we went ahead and we shaded in the base, okay, top and bottom. We went ahead and redrew the base. Now we got to write our formula down. So what's our formula? Well, we're looking for the total surface area. So my total surface area formula equals perimeter of the base times height of the prism plus 2 times the area of the base. Okay? So again, P stands for perimeter of the base, H stands for height of the prism, and then this this capital B stands for area of the base. All right? Okay, now my perimeter. How do I know what numbers to add up together for the perimeter? Well, it's all the outside side lengths of the base. So 9 plus 9 plus 2 plus 2. 9 plus 9 plus 2 plus 2. Okay? So 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 2 is 20, plus another 2 is 22. Okay? So there we go. We found our perimeter. Our perimeter, we added up all the side lengths of our base. Okay? And we got 22. Now, the height of the prism. Okay? The height of the prism, guys, is the distance between one base and the other. Okay? It's the distance between two bases. So if you think about it, think about your head being one base and your feet being the other. So your height is the distance between the top of your head and the bottom of your feet. Okay? It's the distance between two bases. So what's the distance between my two bases? I have one up here. Okay? And then I'm going to draw with this blue line. This is my height, okay? Shading in blue lines to represent my height, okay? All right. Okay, so what's my height going to be? Right here, 15. Height is 15. Okay, now we need to look for the area of the base, okay? Capital B. Well, my base shape is a rectangle. So how do you find the area of a rectangle? You multiply your length times width. times width. So if I go back to my base, what's the length of my base? It's going to be 2. And what's my width? Okay. So I'm going to multiply 2 times 9, and I get 18. Okay. So I have my perimeter, 22, my height of the prism. Remember, the distance between the top base and the bottom base, the distance between those two bases is my height of 15 centimeters. And then my area of the base equals length times width. For a rectangle, it equals length times width. Okay. For other shapes, the area formula is different. So 2 is my length, 9 is my width. I multiply the 2 and I got 18. So now I have all my values. I can just go ahead and plug it in. All right. So total surface area equals perimeter times height plus 2 times the area of the base. All right. So my perimeter was 22 times my height, which was 15, plus 2 times my area, which was 18. Okay? So let me go ahead and label it out. 22 was my perimeter. My height was 15. Here's 2. And here is my area of the base. Okay? Those are where I got my values from. So when I put it all into the calculator, 22 times 15 plus 2 times the base area, which is 18, and you'll get 366. Okay? So your answer should be D. 366. Okay. So, question 2. Remember, you guys can, who are watching the video, you can pause the video anytime you want, okay? All right, question number 2, okay? The dimensions of a triangular prism are shown below. What is the lateral area, okay? Remember, first thing you do, I want you to shade in or outline your base, okay? Here's my triangle. Alright. Triangle. Alright. And then the other triangle base would be right here. Okay. Okay, so after we outline or shade in the base, okay, next thing I want you to do is redraw the base. Alright, so here's my base triangle. Tells me that the bottom base side length is 12. Okay. Now, although, one second. 12. Now, although this side length isn't shown on this base triangle, right? There are no numbers here. On the other base triangle, remember, there are always 2 bases. So this base is going to be 10 centimeters. Excuse me, this side length will be 10 centimeters. And the other side length will be 10 centimeters as well. So 10 and 10. Okay, almost there. Okay, my apologies. So I have my base triangle drawn out. Now I need to find the formula. What's the formula for lateral surface area? LSA, lateral surface area, equals perimeter of the base times the height. Okay. So what's my perimeter? My perimeter is when I add up the outside of my triangle. 12, 10, and 10. So 10 plus 12 plus 10. That'll give me 32. Alright? And again, the height of a prism is the distance from one base to the other. So these lines that are connecting the 2 bases are going to be our height. And how long is that? 34 centimeters. So my height equals 34. Okay. So now I have my perimeter and I have my height. I just multiply the two to find my lateral surface area. 34. So 32 times 34 is, let's see. So the answer will be 1,088. Okay. There was a typo though, so the answer isn't showing up here. Don't worry about that. Okay. The answer should be 1,088. Okay. All right. So, question number 3. A sphere and its dimensions are shown in the diagram. What measurement is closest to the volume of the sphere in cubic inches? Okay. So we're looking for the volume of the sphere. All right. So the volume formula for a sphere is V equals 4 times pi times radius cubed divided by 3. Okay? 4 times pi times radius cubed divided by 3. So what does pi equal? 3.14. Like always, pi equals 3.14. And the radius, okay, well, I know the radius is going to be the halfway point of the circle. But what this whole dotted line going from one end of the circle to the other is telling me is that it is 15 inches. And this is my diameter. Okay, this is my diameter. Okay. Now, to find the radius, what do? You divide your diameter in half by 2. So 15 divided by 2 equals 7.5. Okay. So now we have a radius. Our radius equals 7.5, and our pi is 3.14. Remember, guys, pi is always going to be 3.14. All right. So now I can just plug everything I need into my formula. Again, the formula is volume of a sphere equals 4 times pi times radius cubed divided by 3. So once I put everything into the formula, I'll get V equals 4 times 3.14 times my radius, which is I found to be 7.5 cubed. Right? So my radius is 7.5, and I cube it. Right? Divide the whole thing by 3. Okay, and your answer will either be very close to, or it will be 1,761. 767. Okay. So that should be your answer. Your answer should be J. Okay. All right. So, question number 4. An architect uses a cylindrical container to protect her blueprints. The dimensions of the cylinder are shown in the diagram. Which of the following is closest to the volume of this container? So I'm looking for the volume of a cylinder, a cylindrical container. Tell me that it's a cylinder. All right. So the volume formula for a cylinder is V equals pi r squared times height. Okay, pi r squared times height. So what does pi always stand for? 3.14. Radius is, now remember, radius goes from the outside of the circle, the outer edge, to the very middle, like how they have here. Okay, so this 3 inches is our radius. All right, so my radius is 3. And then my height is what? What's the height of the cylinder? Right here to right here is 15 inches. Okay. So, if I take a look, 15 is my height, my radius is 3, and pi always equals 3.14. Now I can just start plugging in my values. Okay? So, volume equals 3.14, okay, times radius squared times my height of 15, and we get what? Let's see, 3.14 times 3 squared times 15, we get 423. 423.9. Okay. All right. So let's see what we did again. We determined that we needed to find the volume of the cylindrical container. So we need to find the volume of the cylinder. First thing I did was write down my formula. Okay, volume equals pi r squared times height. Pi stands for 3.14 all the time. Radius is 3 because we start at the end of the circle and work our way towards the middle. That's what the radius is. Alright? Remember, radius only goes to the middle. Okay, so that's 3. And then the height of the cylinder, one base to one base, is 15 inches. Okay? So the answer should be 423. Alright. So, question number 5. What is the total surface area of the triangular prism below? So, whenever we're working with prisms, the first thing that I want you to do is either outline or shade in your base. Alright, so since I'm working with a triangular prism, I know that I can only have 2 bases and they have to be in the shape of triangles. Alright, so I'll go ahead and try and shade it a little bit, or outline it a little thicker. Okay. Okay. So there's my base triangle, right? Now, next step is to, and I always want you to do this, guys, redraw the base. Okay? This is going to help y'all a lot. It's going to save y'all a lot of confusion if you shade in or outline your base and then redraw it. Okay? So, what's this side length right here? It tells me 17. This side is 17 as well. And then the base length is 16. So some of y'all might be confused, okay? And if you can see it, there's a line that goes from the top of the triangle to the bottom of the triangle, and it tells me it's 15 yards. Okay? This is 15. Okay? So what that 15 represents, remember, if you're taking your measurement from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, they're finding your height, okay? So this is actually the height of the triangle, right? So let's see. We outlined our base. We went ahead and redrew it. Now we can start the formula, okay? We are looking for the total surface area of a triangular prism. The total surface area formula is SA equals perimeter times height of the prism plus 2 times the area of the base. Okay? So, plus 2b. Okay. Now, first things first, I need to find my perimeter. My perimeter is when I add together all the outside sides of my triangle. 16, 17, and 17. So 16 plus 17 plus 17 equals 50. Okay? So my perimeter of the base is 50. Now, what's the height between one base and the other? Okay? What's the height between the two bases? Well, it's this line that I'm shading right now. which is how long? 20 yards. Okay, so our height is 20 yards. H equals 20. Now we get to the hard part. Okay, the hard part is solving for the area of the base. Okay, area of the base of a triangle. Okay, the formula is BH divided by 2. So that lowercase b, now remember, it's different from the uppercase b. Lowercase b stands for base of the triangle. Okay, base of the triangle. And the H stands for the height of the. Okay, so again, base of the triangle is lowercase b. Height of the triangle is lowercase h. So, our base side length of the triangle, you see how this is on the base, the bottom of the triangle, right here, 16. So that's going to be our lowercase b. And then 15, the height goes from the top of the triangle to the bottom. So 15 is our little h. So now I can go ahead and plug it into my formula. Capital B equals 16 times 15 divided by 2. Okay, 16 times 15 is 240. Divided by 2 is 120. Okay, so again, to find the area of the base, okay, capital B, the formula for a triangular prism is BH divided by 2. Now, lowercase b stands for the base of the triangle, and the h stands for height of the triangle. So, to find the area of the base of a triangular prism, you multiply the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle, and you divide it by 2. Okay. So, now I have everything I need. I have my perimeter, 50. I have my height, 20. And my area of the base equals 120. So now, I'm just going to plug it back in the formula. Remember, my formula is total surface area equals perimeter times height plus 2b. Alright? So my perimeter was 50 times my height of 20 plus 2 times the area of my base, which happened to be 120. Okay? So again, here's my perimeter, my height, 2, and my area of the base. Okay. Now, when I put all that into the calculator, you should get 1,240. Okay? So, this right here is your answer. 1240. Okay, so let's see, we've already done a rectangular prism type of question. Let me see, question number 7. You don't have to worry about question number 7 because there shouldn't be any questions about lateral or total surface area of cylinders. So if you come across that, you don't have to worry about it. Okay. Again, question 8 is a volume of a sphere question. They give you the radius, so it shouldn't be that hard. Okay, just use the formula. And the formula, again, for a sphere is volume equals 4 pi r cubed divided by 3. All right, question number 9 is a lateral surface area of a cylinder, so don't worry about that. Okay, don't worry about that. Then what else? Question number 10, rectangular prism question. Okay, same thing. Now the only thing that's different is about this is that we have 8 and 1/4 6 2/3. Okay, so this is something that kind of confused a couple of y'all here and there. So to convert it into a decimal, you can either do two things. You can enter 1 divided by 4 into your calculator and hit Control Enter. If you don't have one of these calculators at home, don't worry. It should give you a decimal number. Okay, so for 8 1/4, the decimal for 1/4 is 2.25. Okay, so 2.5. And then the decimal for 2/3 is 0.66. Okay, so again, 1/4 equals 0.25, and then 2/3 equals 0.66. Okay. All right, but again, this is a total surface area of a rectangular prism. Okay, if you follow the same steps we did in problem 1, you'll get the same. You should get the right answer. Excuse me. Okay, question 11 is another triangular prism problem. All right, the ones that I'm skipping over, I want y'all to try on your own. Okay, it doesn't do y'all any help if y'all are just copying along what I'm doing, but not trying yourselves. Okay, so I want you guys to try the ones that we didn't go through on your own. So, what is the area of the base in this triangular prism below? You should know how to do surface area of a triangular prism now. Okay. Let's see. Find the lateral surface area of a triangular prism below, whose bases are equilateral triangles. Okay, so the one thing about this question is that it is an equilateral triangle. That means, like it says, all sides have the same length. So this side is 4 with this little tick mark. Okay, these tick marks tell me that they are congruent. It means that this is going to be 4 and this is going to be 4. Okay? Alright, and then anything else? For question 13, you know what, let's go ahead and do question 13 together, okay? And then we can go, that'll be the last question we do together. So when wrapping a birthday gift in the shape of a rectangular prism for his mother, Kenji adds an additional 2.5 square feet to allow for overlap. How many square feet of gift wrap will Kenji use to wrap a gift 3.5 feet long, 18 inches wide, and 2 feet high? So the first thing that y'all should notice is that right here, the length, okay, is 3.5 feet long. And then over here we have inches for the width. Okay? And then it says 2 feet high. So I have feet, inches, and feet. It'd be easier for me to convert the inches over to feet. How do I do that? Like this. Okay? So you have to know that for every 12 inches, you have 1 foot, 1 feet. Okay? So, how many inches does it say I have right here? It says I have 18 inches, but I want to convert that to feet. Okay? But again, I don't know how many feet are in 18 inches, so I'm going to leave it as x. Right? So now we're going to cross multiply and divide. 1 times 18 will equal 18, and then 12 times x. Okay? So we have 12x equals 18 feet. Now, I want to solve for x, the amount of feet. Divide both sides of the equation, right? Here's our one side, here's the other. Divide both sides by the number, okay, and remember, this is important. Divide both sides by the number that is attached to the variable. Here's my variable x. The number that's attached to it is 12. So that's why I'm dividing both sides by 12. If you have the same number on top and bottom, they cancel out. 18 divided by 12 equals, x equals 1.5. So, in other words, 1.5 feet equals 18 inches. Okay, 18 inches. All right, so I'm going to let y'all, again, this will be on the video, the YouTube video, so I'm going to go ahead and erase this real quick. Okay. Okay. So we know that 18 inches equals 1.5 feet. Okay. All right. Now we can start answering the actual question. We're trying to find how many square feet of gift wrap Kenji will use to wrap the entire box. So top, bottom, and all the sides, that's our total surface area. So total surface area equals perimeter times height plus 2 times the area of the base. So my perimeter, okay, this question, it doesn't give you a rectangular prism, right? So we have to make our own. We have to redraw the base. There's my base. Okay, so how long is the base? Well, if you read the question, it gives you the length right here. It's 3.5 feet. Okay, and then how many inches wide? Well, excuse me, how many feet wide? We found out to be 1.5. So 1.5, 3.5, and... Okay, so now I have my base drawn out. Okay, now it is time for me to find the perimeter of the base by adding together all my side lengths. 3.5 plus 3.5 plus 1.5 plus 1.5. Okay, so my perimeter will equal 10. Okay, my perimeter will equal 10. Now, I need to find my height. Well, I don't really need to find it because it's already given to me right here. This is my feet. It says 2 feet high. So my height is 2. Okay, but now I need to find the area of the base. Remember, area of a base for a rectangle is length times width. If I look at my question, it says Kenji will use to wrap a gift 3.5 feet long, so that's my length, 3.5, multiplied by my width, 18 inches wide or 1.5 feet wide. 3.5 times 1.5 is, let's see, 5.25. Okay, 5.25. All right, so I have my perimeter of 10, I have my height of 2, and my area of the base 5.25. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put everything together. PH plus 2B. So P is 10 times 20, 10 times 2 plus 2 times my area of the base. Okay. Again, here's my perimeter 10, my height is 2, plus 2 times area of the base, 5.25. Right? That'll get you, let's see. Okay, that'll get you 30.5. Now, 30.5 is the total surface area of this rectangular prism. Yes, but in the question it says Kenji will add an additional 2.5 square feet, okay, to allow for an overlap. So, whatever answer we get, you add 2.5, and you'll get 33. Okay, so your answer is 33 square feet. Okay, make sure that you pay attention to the question. Read everything, okay? So, that's question 13. Question 14 is a triangular prism total surface area question. And then 15 is the total surface area of a rectangular prism. So, I want you guys to go ahead and check those. The key with the answers are on Canvas, okay? Try it first. But that's everything. Good luck on the test. Okay, message me with any questions you might have. Good luck.